The
Now I'm
M1
getting
chip
a
changed my life.
MacBook. I'm like, geez, bro, look at
Now
you,
I'm just
man.
better than everybody.
I look at you flexing
I'm
on
better. I'm just better than
I'm better than
everyone
you.
now.
Hello and welcome to the Hustle Over Everything podcast. This is the podcast where we receive stories, tips, and tactics from entrepreneurs who have done it. Today, we have a wild card episode for you, and we are featuring our guest of the day, Simba. What's going on with you, bro?
Happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Man,
It's
like
been a long
Simba's,
time
bro.
coming.
Good to see you back in the chambers, man.
Most
Yes.
definitely. Simba is the CEO and founder of Avola Bespoke, and he's also the founder of Luxury News Weekly. And you can find them at those handles, Avola Bespoke and Luxury News Weekly. So make sure you tap in to get all your luxury news. So, yo, first things first is talk, bro. What do you think of the Jay-Z and Beyonce Tiffany deal? Talking about luxury news. Let's talk about it.
Okay, so you guys want to get in it.
Yeah, straight into it.
Okay. All right. So for context, for those who don't know, and I've actually spoken about this on Luxury News Weekly with my co-host Elizabeth Solaru, the
Shout out to her.
#1 cake maker and luxury consultant in the UK. And basically, Tiffany Co. I think what we all know Tiffany Co. At least the ladies watching this will know Tiffany Co. Right? Very popular brand. When you say Tiffany Co., you don't immediately come like Beyonce and Jay-Z don't come to mind immediately.
You think of legacy.
Think of legacy.
Yeah.
You think of a more. It's an American brand, but yet it has more of a European context to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so they decided to do this campaign because they got bought out by another company, a parent company, LVMH, and they started changing things around. One of the things they wanted to do is modernize the brand, make it more like in line with
That's for the
Thank you.
camera.
yeah, make it more in line with kind of the new culture, the TikTok wave, and they thought, well, connecting with Black culture is probably a good way to do that, right?
Yeah.
As well as street culture. So they did collabs with Supreme. All right, so then they decided to do Tiffany Co. campaign with the legacy of Black culture, Jay-Z and Beyonce, King and Queen. So on surface level, it doesn't look bad. But here's the problem. They did a campaign, and in the campaign, Beyonce is wearing a diamond necklace. I think 128 carat, might be more actually. Huge yellow diamond necklace. And Jay-Z's kind of taking photos of her and that kind of thing. You think, okay, what's up with that?
Like a Polaroid type of camera.
Yeah. And then in the background, there's a painting. So here's the problem. That necklace that has only been worn by 4 women is actually a blood diamond.
And for those people who don't know, like, what is a blood diamond?
Okay, so a blood diamond is basically an unethical AF diamond. Like, this is like, it was probably brought by underpaid or slave labor, coercion, probably stolen from the country it was mined from, corruption, bribery. Now, this was found in South Africa. This diamond was found in South Africa, and the big company, De Beers, bought it, right? De Beers runs the diamond industry around the world, but they got it in the 1800s. So it was in 1800s in South Africa. What do you think the diamonds were? They were all blood diamonds,
Yeah.
especially for the large ones. So now she's the first Black woman to ever wear this necklace, and she's like the 4th woman. Lady Gaga wore it too.
Didn't Audrey Hepburn as well wear it as well?
I like back in the day.
Back in the day,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think so. So yeah, and so she's wearing a blood diamond. She says she didn't know. She was trying to apologize for it. The irony is that they're trying to use a Black image, but it's a blood diamond. But I don't believe she didn't know.
So you think Beyonce actually knew it was a blood diamond?
I know for a fact Beyonce and Jay-Z own blood diamonds because the kind of like $100 million plus diamonds are all blood diamonds. They're not new. It's only the lower level where they're more ethical. But any diamond with prestige is pretty well most likely to be a blood diamond. if it's like got a heritage to it. This is from the 1800s, like, of course. But yeah, so that's one of the things. But what do you think about that? Just because there's more, but you know,
There's more, right? So I know this campaign has become an issue, but who realized it was an issue, and like what really made it a spark? Is it the fact that people who are fans of Tiffany Co were feeling alienated because now they're seeing LVMH turn Tiffany Co into this brand that's trying to connect to hip culture, mixed in with the fact that they're using a blood diamond on Beyonce, and Beyonce is like a black woman and she's promoting that. I just want to understand like what really spurred this after the campaign was like launched out to the public.
I think it's because it came out when the Black Lives Matter thing was hot, and people had time to research stuff.
People at home just chilling,
Fishing.
like they're looking for something to get cheesed about.
Fishing, exactly. They're fishing for information, and when you're looking, you'll find it. Now, they also not only were they kind of feeling like this is a bit disingenuous, you're kind of trying to steal the black image for your campaign. So people were so about that, right? But then the blood diamond thing, and then on top of that, the art community as a whole was super mad because they were super upset because in the campaign there was a rare Basquiat painting, and the painting had never been publicly seen before. It was in the Tiffany colors. The painting had never been publicly seen before, and the first time it's on display is in an advertisement using black artists to promote a brand. Right?
Yeah.
The number one top black artist, Basquiat, is now in his grave being used as kind of a clout symbol, if that makes sense, and a flex on behalf of Tiffany Co.
But Simba, don't you think as well to understanding who Jay-Z is and the way he's transformed his music? He used to sing about, selling dope and everything, and he's turned his music into a new category, luxury rap. And Basquiat is like one of those individuals he's a big admirer of. He always sings about Basquiat, this, Basquiat, that. Do you think it was Jay-Z pushing that to add like that flair because he heavily associates himself with Basquiat? Or was it LVMH saying add a Basquiat because you sing about Basquiat, it's going to be connected with like the hoop culture, because Basquiat's like a cool guy.
He's a cool
artist.
Guy. He's a cool artist. He's like really connected with street culture, like Cos is, or like, yeah, you get these street artists, but Basquiat kind of was an elevated street artist, right? Yeah. Like he started kind of doing these murals and whatnot, and then he's now he passed. By the time he passed away, he studied under Andy Warhol, and he became a fine artist, right? And now he's respected in all the art circles, in the serious collectors circles, as well as culture, as well as the street culture, hip hop culture, and quite frankly now pop culture, right? But Jay-Z wouldn't have known they owned this painting. It's not his.
Well, Tiffany owns it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
They had it in private collection.
Okay.
Now, of course, Jay-Z could have found out because he hangs out with the people, but it's like, I feel like they are like, hey, we've got this painting we've been wanting to use. This would be great. Black this, black that. Yeah. So.
All right. So I have a few things to push back on. One is, would it have changed if it was a white woman modeling? Like, would there have been such pushback if it was another Lady Gaga campaign?
Or let's say if it was Scarlett Johansson, like she's always in a lot of luxury ads. She was in Dolce & Gabbana, right?
Who also have a ton of problems.
Yeah, as well too. Like if you look at Scarlett Johansson, she fits like the model of what a beauty standard is. She's white, she's attractive, she has blonde hair, blue eyes, paler skin, which has been predominantly used in a lot of like advertising for luxury ads. Do you think it was the fact that it was Beyonce and Jay-Z and they were just dumb too? Like what's your take on that?
I think, the thing is, what was the intent of Tiffany Co? They were trying to revive or rebrand, right? So of course you're going to go to prominent people. Tiffany Co, because LVMH bought them. LVMH, for those who don't know, they own Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennessy. They bought Armand Brignac, aka Ace of Spades. They own, I think, Celine. They own shares in Hermes. If they don't own it outright, they have shares in it. They own almost every major luxury company in the world. And with that, Dior, and with that, they have power over every celebrity in the world, basically. Right? So they flex sometimes, which I have no problem with. With this particular campaign, though, they seem to be really pushing the idea of it was a love campaign. They were trying to push the idea of, subtly push the idea of ethnic love, and sophistication and all that. But it seemed it was a bit of the pandering, a bit of the pulling from the culture that they didn't contribute to.